Okay, shalom everyone. I'm very excited to be here today with you at this event symbolizing the connection between global cooperation, sustainability, and deserts. I don't know how many of you had the chance to see the view outside the city or even the conference itself, but trust me on that one, we're at the desert. My name is Sharon Goldberg. I'm the community manager at DeserTech. And unfortunately, I don't live in a desert, but I was lucky enough to find a job that takes me to one once a week. Every week, I'm at the Negev, that's Israel's desert. It's just 4 hours drive away, maybe less, some have told me. And it covers 60% of Israel's land area. Today, we're launching the Negev Resource Map. It's a unique platform helping global players to connect with these professional stakeholders in the Negev to form new collaborations, pilots, and ventures. We will hear from leading entrepreneurs and experts about their cutting-edge technologies and from key players about resources that can help you tackle the expanding global desert challenges in the world using innovation. Then we'll present you the platform through which you can connect with them and with many more. But first, I'd like to introduce DeserTech. So.
Meet DeserTech, one of the most promising sectors in the world. Technologies that solve desert challenges. As our planet becomes increasingly hotter, drier, and less fertile, innovators operating in the fields of infrastructure, agriculture, water, and energy can help manage our water resources, adapt to extreme climates, rejuvenate degraded soils, produce renewable energy, and provide services to remote communities. The DeserTech community brings together entrepreneurs, corporates, investors, researchers, and governments from around the world to adapt and scale technologies that build desert resilience while increasing regional collaboration. Operating from Israel's Negev Desert, a living lab of science and technology, we invite you to exchange and gain professional knowledge, connect with partners, and mobilize resources for growth. Join us. Together, we can combat desertification.
Yeah. So thank you. Can you move that? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So. DeserTech is a non-profit joint initiative of 4 partners: the Mirage Foundation Israel, the Israeli Innovation Institute, Ben-Gurion University, and the Ministry of Environmental Protection. And together they formed the community 2.5 years ago. Now, desertification is expanding, and we need to adapt to a hotter and drier world. As we see more and more non-traditional arid environments starting to face extreme desert-like phenomenon, and the population living in dry lands in urgent need for solutions, we realize that desert technologies are relevant to larger parts of the world population. So alongside talking about the severe forecast for 2030 or 2040, we believe we should talk about 2022. And what can we do to make life possible, better, and more sustainable in deserts today? Alongside mitigation, we should develop an adaptation approach to the changes our planet is going through. Israel's Negev can contribute to this growing need. The deep connection between research and the field the Negev has is a unique offering to this growing challenge. For centuries, the Negev has been a living laboratory for science and technology, and it used innovation and technologies to make the people of the desert live appropriate life. This made the area a vibrant lab for desert technologies with diverse players contributing to this growing challenge. We have leading organizations, hubs, accelerators, R&D centers, academic institutes, tech companies, and more, all together making this possible. Sorry. The platform we're launching today is a one-stop shop for all these assets, an accessible place for the world to tap into the rich and vibrant DeserTech ecosystem the Negev has to offer, bringing all of them together to one place, closer to the people who need it. The challenges we focus on in DeserTech are extreme climate, going all the way from dust storms to severe temperature shifts or sun intensity, soil degradation, that's fertile soil becoming unfertile, water scarcity, now that's about the quantity, but also about the quality of water and the availability of it, and remote and marginal living, as we see that many of the communities living in deserts are either isolated or remote. We're an innovation community, and as such, we connect the different players of the ecosystem. We bring all the different stakeholders together to work around desert challenges and technologies and connect them by creating opportunities and value to make the entire ecosystem thrive. There are many technologies that could be relevant for deserts but are not yet adapted to such climates. Either they're not suitable for deserts or don't see them as relevant markets. We help them adapt and develop to the growing market while connecting the challenge owners to the relevant technologies. While doing so, we position the Negev region as a global hub for such technologies. One example of such opportunity we created not long ago is the Innovation Leaders Program of the Great Green Wall Initiative. We launched just last week here at Cop27 at the Senegal Pavilion, together with the UN Convention to Combat Desertification, the UNCCD. The UNCCD is a special partner of the community in creating opportunities and in helping the Israeli ecosystem to better understand the needs of the Great Green Wall countries in fighting desertification. I'd like to welcome Ms. Louise Baker, Managing Director of the Global Mechanism at the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, to give her opening remarks.
Can I come and sit down?
Of course. We're having long, long days here.
Yeah? Go on then. Technology challenge.
Innovation at the Negev.
Does that work? Yep, very good. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Shalom. My name is Louise Baker, and I'm the Managing Director of the Global Mechanism at UNCCD. UNCCD is a sister convention to climate change, and UNCCD works on the issues of desertification, land degradation, and drought. So absolutely aligned with the kind of innovative work you're doing down at DeserTech. We, in our process, have had, for a very long time, questions from parties to the conventions about the possibility of technology transfer, about accessing, seeing that in certain parts of the world that are dry, the quality of life is much higher. It's possible to live in dry land and desert ecosystems and live well, but you have to have the right kind of technology to make that possible. So we've had many requests from parties to help identify the potential solutions, to help make that transfer of technology possible. And so for us, this is a really exciting partnership, because what this initiative is doing, particularly in the Great Green Wall, and I'm going to say particularly in the Great Green Wall because I do hope this will expand further as we go on, but we're taking the Great Green Wall as a sort of crucible of the challenges of remote, often poor dryland communities who really need this technology, and this opportunity to work together with the DeserTech community to really get to the nub of the problems, refine the technologies so that they suit their needs, and work collaboratively, hopefully, on developing programs and projects that can actually be implemented on the ground, is a really unique approach for us. It's something very different, and we're looking forward to seeing the outcomes of it very much. There is real enthusiasm from the parties at UNCCD on this. And yeah, we think that the application in the Great Green Wall is a first step. The application can go much further. The Great Green Wall is often seen as an area that is is poor and is subject to lots of resource degradation, but at the same time it has massive potential. It's got some of the largest aquifers in the world. It's got a growing population that you can either see as a population challenge or as a potential demographic dividend in an aging planet. So this is a part of the world that is a potential market, that is a potential place for investment, that has got the land and the water and the people to turn into a vibrant community, building on their knowledge and their local knowledge and their experience, and the sort of the genius of the Desert Tech community, putting those together. So we're absolutely delighted to be here. We think this is an amazing initiative for Israel. It's an amazing initiative in partnership with the Great Green Wall, and we think it has a lot of potential to go further. So thank you so much for having me here, and we wish you the very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Louise. We find the UNCCD as such important partners of the community, and we're so excited about the project we just launched last week. We can't wait to see what it further brings. So thank you for that. And next, I'd like to invite Rotem Shamai from the Ministry of Environmental Protection, Head of Strategy and Innovation Unit, for her opening remarks. Thank you, Louise.
Can use this. Thank you, Sharon, and thank you, Louise, for your inspiring word. I am very excited to be standing here today to see how our unique initiative is taking another step forward in making a real global impact. It was only a couple of years ago that our ministry, together with our partner, Mirage Foundation Israel, Israeli Innovation Institute, and Ben-Gurion University of the Negev, initiated this incredible platform, and our ecosystem has already grown beyond any expectations. All of us here are fully aware of the different challenges posed by climate change, and especially to hotspots like the Middle East, where Israel and Egypt both share similar realities. Desert environments and their unique condition, expanding globally through the process of desertification, present both unique challenges and opportunities. The key to addressing these challenges involves technological solutions, innovation, and shared efforts across borders and sectors. We, in DeserTech, propose to harness Israel's experience and innovative drive and capabilities to meet these challenges. One such exciting initiative, fresh out of the oven, is our new partnership with the UNCCD. Israel's Negev Desert serves as a global hub and living lab for combating desertification and for climate adaptation technologies and research. We consider this meeting at the Israel Pavilion today as a great opportunity to share with you some of what we have done so far, and also to invite you all to engage with our innovation community. Thank you all for joining us here today, and looking forward to an interesting afternoon.
Thank you so much, Rotem. It's great having you here with us today. Next, I'd like to invite Sivan Cohen-Shachari, DeserTech's director, who also happens to be my lovely boss, to present the platform we're launching.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity. It's very exciting to be just on the other side of the border of Israel and to see so many people from so many countries joining forces together to tackle desertification or actually confront the challenges that the climate and changes in the climate is addressing us. It's a pleasure to be here at the Israeli Pavilion to present what we do in DeserTech for almost 2 years now. And actually, as mentioned before, as a community, we try to promote and we aim to promote the development of technologies that will tackle the global desertification challenges and position the Negev, the Israeli Negev, as the global hub for these technologies. As we established DeserTech, we understood that the ecosystem could create and should create more interactions between challenge owners, solution owners, and the resources that can help adapt to the relevant global needs. In the beginning, we had developed the marketplace that shows different types of solutions, Israeli solutions, to tackle these challenges that Sharon mentioned before: extreme climate, water scarcity, land degradation, and remote and marginal living. We understand that the challenge owners could be governments, industry, but also communities placed around the globe, not just in arid areas that we know now, but also in areas that could face desertification in the upcoming years. So in the beginning, we approached the Israeli tech ecosystem, and we tried to explore which of them can offer solutions for desert challenges or desertification challenges. Please, the link. The map here showed us different types of startups, Israeli startups, that can address, as you can see, by filtering the different types of challenges or verticals. You can scroll down the platform and see different types of Israeli solutions to these challenges. Now, back to the presentation, we can see that after we define the types of solutions, we had to better define what types of resources Israel has to offer in order to adapt these solutions to the real needs around the globe. We understand that now the platform, after it contains more than 70 Israeli startups, now it's our mission to promote the regional resource map, the DeserTech Negev resource map, that contains over 20 organizations located in the Israeli Negev, starting from agricultural R&D centers, scientific R&D centers, different types of farmers, either small farmers, big farmers that can offer their sites as pilot sites for technologies, Israeli, but also not Israelis, and again, together to adapt their technologies to arid areas in Israel, but also relevant globally. I would now like to invite and to show you a glimpse of our community, of our ecosystem, and invite two startups, CEO of Israeli startups, Mr. Rafi Levy, who is the CEO of DOTS, one of the Israeli startups, and Ms. Hadass Maman. She's a professor at the Tel Aviv University, but also a founder of a startup called Solid. They would share with us in a few minutes what their technology is offering for dealing with desertification in different types of challenges. So please, the first presenter, Professor Hadass Maman from Solid.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Let me see. Okay, so how obvious for some of us, or maybe most of us, is to open our tap and get a stream of fresh water. However, this is not the reality of everyone in the world, and that's why we founded Solid. So our mission is to provide safe water in rural areas, remote areas, and marginal communities. And we are founded from the Tel Aviv University and the Water Energy Lab. Our initiative is mostly funded by Asper Foundation, which is a clean water fund, but we also collaborate with many partners in Israel and around the world. So one of the issues is that desertification, land degradation, and drought, we all know that it has an impact on the quantity of water. However, both droughts, and floods also impact the quality of water, and this is something that is mainly not addressed. In Solid, we actually want to address the biological contamination of water that results from both these issues. And in addition to that, every 2 minutes, a child can die from biological contamination in water-related diseases, and the problem is getting worse with the climate crisis. In addition to that, the common solutions require installment and operations. Many projects become dysfunctional after some time, and they do not fit the decentralized, remote, and marginal livings, and they need therefore there's a need for off-grid solutions and affordable solutions. Boiling is unscalable, chlorine requires chemical supply, and filtration requires water pressure. And they're not effective against viruses and many types of organisms. So that's why we developed Solid, which is an off-grid bio-LED disinfection device for rural and remote areas where the water streams through a system that could be in the size of a cup or a laptop. The system is powered either by the solar sun or the energy is harvested even by the water flow, and it could be connected to any pipeline or to a water container. Now, the advantages of light-emitting diodes are huge. They're quick startup and warm-up time, have a long lifetime. They're compact design, low electrical output, environmentally friendly. They don't contain mercury like the other types of UV lamps, and they're wavelength targeted. However, there are many disadvantages and why LED technologies are not implemented worldwide for decentralized rural communities, and that is because the high cost of the LEDs, the high energy consumption, and the recovery of contaminants. However, we were able to tackle these disadvantages of using LEDs by our patent, where we showed that combination of different frequencies can actually result in low system cost, low energy consumption, effective against viruses, and also control of regrowth, and much higher inactivation or killing of the microorganisms within the same UV dose. We're having various pilots that are planned in many places in the world, both in India and also together with communities in Israel, also for using treated effluent for unrestricted irrigation. And in addition to that, our system is IoT controlled, which means that the data is transmitted to the cloud, which also can help in maintenance, especially for remote locations where it's especially important, and also to tackle issues with the system operation and maintenance. We have won several awards around the world, and I'll just like to give a glimpse of another startup that we are actually now starting, which is called Data Pond, which we're actually nowcasting, which means predicting in real time contamination of microorganisms, and by using simple physical sensors. And join us in the journey of saving lives, and let it be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hadass. I hope you all got what Hadass had just mentioned, but you're more than welcome to approach her later after the event is over to learn more. And now please welcome Rafi Levy, CEO of DOTS, a Negev-based startup, actually a spin-off of Ben-Gurion University, to present their technology.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Rafi and we're DOTS. I'll try to struggle with the hour and with the fact that most of you have been here for 10 days fighting the climate. We're DOTS, as I said, but I'll ask you one question. When I say fertilizer, what comes to your mind? Most of you will probably say fertilization, and you're right. 50% of the world food comes due to the fact that we fertilize. Others might say the downside of fertilizers is contamination. You're also right. It's the #1 contaminator in agriculture. So why do we over-apply them? Well, the need to secure food supply and the fact that we don't have monitoring systems inside the soil leads to the better safe than sorry policy, in which we over-apply to make sure we have enough food. To put matters in perspective, for every 1 ton of fertilizer put in the ground, only 600 kgs reach the plants themselves. 400 kgs reach the groundwater, and this entire ton causes a chain reaction of evaporation of greenhouse gas emissions, both CO2 emissions, and the factor on CO2 emissions is 5.6 to every ton, and N2O emissions, which are much more deadlier than CO2, so it's just about the same numbers. If we look at the big picture, there are 125 million tons of nitrate-based fertilizers applied every year. 50 million tons are wasted every year, leading to 280 million tons in CO2 emissions. and another 2.5 million tons in N2O emissions, which are equivalent to almost 750 million tons of CO2. So it's a 1 billion tons damage due to the over-fertilization that we're doing. When we talk of arid lands, and we are here in the desert community or in the desert area, in arid lands where irrigation is much more intense, the fertilization is much more intense because every time we irrigate, we downwash fertilizers, so we apply them again and again and again. We end up applying much more and basically degrading the land much more because of the fact that we do that. If we look at the world map and the excess fertilization in the map, the darker the color is, the more excess there is. Well, I can say one thing, we all have a lot to do. The technologies available today to monitor ground soil are limited in their capacity to monitor over-application. Electric conductivity is vague because they monitor a whole bunch of parameters in the soil, but they cannot differentiate between salinity and nitrates or fertilizers. Hyperspectral analysis looks for deficits in the plants to avoid damage to the crops, but they cannot predict or they cannot see over-application because plants do not consume more than they need. That's why you saw before 400 kgs for every ton go down. And manual sampling is quite expensive and it's not automated. DOTS developed a system, and I think I can safely and proudly say we're one of the only companies offering a solution today for continuous fertilizer monitoring inside the soil. Our system was developed over 7 years of research in the Desert University in Ben Gurion, and we have an end-to-end solution which is fully patented worldwide, leading from a pore water extraction unit, electro-optics to analyze the solution content, and we have algorithms, cloud-based data algorithms to give fertilization data and fertigation advice to the user or to the system directly. Let's look at the results. We've already gone to commercial results. We're a young startup. We're 1 year old as a startup, but we're based on about 8 years of research before we set the company up. This is the graph of the application of nitrate or fertilizers by the farmer according to the standard protocols. The green bar is where he should have been, and the over-application you clearly see here is due to the blindness that he operates under. In the control plot, in the test plot that was run with the DOTS data continuously, you can see that we're pretty much within the green zone. And what's most importantly, the gap between these two graphs is 28% in this specific case, and we've reached 40% in some cases. So let's go back. We're talking of 125 million tons of an application market, out of which 50 million tons are wasted. The numbers of greenhouse gas emissions are tremendous. I will not repeat them. With the DOT system, we can eliminate the waste and eliminate the greenhouse gas evaporations. So the DOT's impact is not only in agriculture. It goes all the way to the climate, and that's why we're here. It will eliminate groundwater contamination and greenhouse gas emissions of both kinds, which will lead to better health. The upside of this solution on the financials is not only the savings to the farmers, but it's the reduction of medical costs and water rehabilitation costs, which are almost double of the fertilization cost. And since we're here in the UN forum, then if we look at the SDG goals, we address 8 out of 17 goals with our solution. So if you don't want the world to look like this, you're more than welcome to join us and try and change it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And after seeing the opportunities and working with startups, now there's also an opportunity in the Israeli Negev, which is 60% of the land area of Israel, and also is a house for many innovation hubs, R&D centers, pilot sites, and so on. We want to open a light on 2 of these entities. But first of all, I want to show you the platform that actually gives you an access to these types of entities. So please, if we can go back to the link before. Great. So we can scroll down on the screen and see in the middle of the screen, we see the Negev resource map. And by pressing on the icon of the Negev resource map, we can see also that a new window opens and then you see different types of organizations. Also them you could filter either by the type of vertical they're working at, energy, infrastructure, water, or renewable energy and agriculture, but also you could filter them by the type of service they can provide, either a pilot site, joint research, joint initiatives you could work on together. Eventually, while you filter these organizations and find out which type of organization you can collaborate with in order to adapt your technology or your solution to the area you're living at, arid, less or more, it gives you the opportunity to collaborate with an Israeli entity that has served for so many years as a pilot site for these technologies and these solutions, as Israel is facing arid climate quite as it was established many years ago. And now I want to invite two participants, and the panel part of the event is going to take time now. I want to invite, please, Dorit Bennett, the CEO of Lot Renewable Energy, and Orit Hershti-Cohen, the CEO of Desert and Dead Sea Scientific Research Center. Please, thank you. I'll start and then we'll take it from here. So thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you both with us. And actually, it's a pleasure to have gender diversity while we are a majority of women standing here next to you or in front of you today in this event. So thank you again. Dorit, we will start with you. As the CEO of Lot Renewable Energy and a resident of the Arava region, can you describe to us what does the NGO does and what are its goals?
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. So Lot is a non-benefit company owned by the settlements and some business entities in the Arava and Eilat. And our goal is to be a platform for regional development regarding clean energy and innovation. So right now, our region has the infrastructure of clean energy in the terms of we have 200 megawatt installed of solar energy that brings the region to 100% in daytime from all of the region in the Eilat city demand 100% from renewables. We are getting into storage, and all those facilities and other facilities we are doing can be a platform for a lot of startups, a lot of pilots to come and be part of us, because, you know, one of the problems in remote places, or definitely in deserts, so it's very far from technology, it's very far from monitoring, it's very far to be inspected and to be there with the modernest tools that you can have. So if the green wall is a goal to have a lot of technologies going there, and we can examine them in real places, in the desert, with the state-of-the-art knowledge and system and ecosystem to give them, so this is our achievement.
Great, thank you. Orit, as the CEO of Dead Sea and Arava Science Center and also a resident of the region, can you please describe to us the reasons to establish such a scientific center?
Yes, first I also want to thank you for being here and the opportunity for DeserTech. I live in the lowest place on earth, in a small kibbutz in the Dead Sea area. The Dead Sea and Arava Science Center is located in the periphery of Israel, in the south part of Israel. Our research center covers all the hyper-arid desert of Israel, from the Dead Sea to the Arava Valley and to the Negev Mountain and all the part of the Negev. It was established about 17 years ago by the local municipalities Also supported by the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, and under the auspices of Ben Gurion University of the Negev. The goals were not only to bring academic work to the desert, but also to build expertise on the desert, studying its ecosystem services and how the desert resource can benefit human societies. So the focus is on applied research. Another goal that we have is bringing the science to the periphery. We have lots of collaboration, and we have a very meaningful bodies all over the area to make science accessible to kids, grown-ups, elders, and youth.
Orit, what are actually the main expertise of the center?
We have 30 researchers, which are all lives in the area of the desert, which make them the experts in subjects that are relevant to the desert and the societies. They live the daily challenges and thus are more accessible for finding a solution. They're working in a variety of disciplines, of aspect locals of the extreme desert climate, from geology, microbiology, biotechnology, renewable energy, ecology, lots of fields. We have few topical centers that are unique, like the Desert Flood Research Center, with hydrologists and remote sensing researchers. This research center is supported by the joint authorities of the Dead Sea and Arava. And it's an excellent example about the collaboration and useful in effect about the collaboration with the authorities and how we can actually be a part of changing the citizens' life in the decision making and bringing data to the authorities. We also have a unit of that leads regional cooperation with Jordan and the Palestinians. We heard him also here in the conference. An education unit that we have a coordinator, education coordinator all over in our 4 branches. We have 4 different branches. One sits in the Dead Sea, 2 in the Arava, and the first one in Mitzpe Ramon, which is the Negev mountain. The last one is the skin lab. It's a very progressive skin lab in Masada.
Dorit, can you share a recent example of a collaboration you have formed with other entities, either regional or global ones?
Yes, just now we just submitted an Horizon project of 25 million euros, taking 16 partners, bringing the pilots of green hydrogen and all the circular economy in the green hydrogen valley, where we are producing green hydrogen with Israeli startup that sits in the center of Israel, bringing European, Spanish, Portuguese, German, Turkish partners, and even electricity company of Israel and some developers regarding renewable energy, the pipeline company of gas. We took industries that use heat, and together we submitted Hydrogen Valley project. And this could be done in our region because we have a lot of solar energy and we have a lot of land, and we can try doing that and show how we can make transportation on hydrogen. By the way, there is the main transportation heavy one in Israel is from the Dead Sea to the Red Sea, taking potassium from the Dead Sea to the Red Sea and export it wherever it is. So those trucks, we want them to go on hydrogen, to drive on hydrogen. So the company from the owner of the trucks of this company, so put a truck, bringing a truck of hydrogen to the consortium. And this is an example how you take your local assets, your knowledge, and the connection to bring all those together, 16 entities from Israel and abroad, to be part of this experiment.
Orit, how do you operate when it comes to collaborating with industry as a scientific research center? What can you offer for them?
We have a few models that we offer. The first option is selling research services in advanced laboratories, such as the Skin Laboratory in Masada, research dealing with the field of pharmaceuticals and cosmetic, as well as the Zebrafish Laboratory in the Arava in the medical and neurological field. The second option is partnership, to collaborate in applied research that has a high potential for commercialization, which are in various stages of development. It can be whether from the start, from the initial idea that a research have or some company or investor, and then we're going together or in return to rights in the patent, in the future right of the patent, or later on when you already have results, and then, or whether we sell the patent itself and the research, or we can ask for partnerships and go together. We now have a project that we are running with the Negev Accelerator, also a member of the DeserTech, of the platform, in the agri-tech field. One of our research isolates a bacterium that lives in the extreme desert condition. This bacterium managed to attract nematodes. In this way, a kind of trap was created, and the nematodes are attracted to it instead of the roots of the plants. It's a great natural solution that replaces the use of various of chemicals.
Can you please share with us what are the future plans of the center in regards to addressing global desert challenges?
Yes. We see now what is happening in the whole world, especially in Europe, regarding to the climate change and global warming. We are already live and exploring the desert in the extreme and radical condition for years. What makes us believe that we can contribute and export our knowledge and experience to others in topics like water shortage, agriculture in water-limited system, increasing magnitude of floods and drought, soil erosion, renewable energy, circular economy, walkability, and shade. We always look for looking for future collaboration, a new partnership, and I invite you to join us and get to know us better. If you're an investor, or if you have some crazy idea and you want one of the best and excellent research, to join us.
Thank you. And Dorit, last question, please. What could you define as main advantages what you bring to the table of this conference in adapting to climate change?
I think that we bring, first of all, a state-of-the-art knowledge regarding infrastructuring and showing case studies that we can build different reality in the field of renewable energy. This is our field. Those days we are working with the Israeli government how to build our infrastructure in a way that they will be able to act as a microgrid. I'm emphasizing to be able to act like a microgrid because we don't want to be a microgrid without any connection to the Israeli grid. So to be able to do that, we need a lot of new technologies that we implemented in running and managing the infrastructure of energy in Eilat. And this is a showcase for a lot of other desert places that are very remote. And before those times, you should take a high line of electricity, 1,000 kilometers to bring electricity those remote places. We want to show that you can, in remote places, in desert places, bring your 100% energy to the needs in each area, and this will short the way. You know, it's like the telephones, wireless with and the cell phone. Many years ago, if you didn't have a wire of telephone, you cannot have any connection. Right now, you have the cell phone all over wherever you are. This should be the same with energy, and it will be a sustainable one, with a lot of technology-wise inside, and it can be accessed, we can access energy to all over the world, and sure, for remote places and desert places. This is my goal as a main lab, living lab in the Arava, but we are doing a lot of agrivoltaics right now. It's nice to have solar and irrigation and agriculture, but how does you do it in very arid places? How do you combine those? So everything connected, maybe solar desalination, small scale, not huge scales, what you're doing with the brine, and a lot of challenges that bring the energy, water, energy nexus, and of course, energy by itself.
Thank you so much for your time and effort to join us here in this event, and I wish us all luck in next collaborations with Israeli and global industries. Thank you. We wanted to show it just before we say goodbye and welcome you to join us and look for us also in the web. How exactly Negev Asset looks like in our website. So once you log on into our platform, you can see the name of the asset, the name of the organization, what type of an organization is it, what kind of facilities you can find in that organization, what type of services does the organization offer, and its expertise. In addition, you can even know what type of climate that organization or that facility has, either in wintertime or summertime. So the type of collaboration you could do with that facility is very much detailed in that digital platform. So the Arava Institute, who just had a panel here in the conference a few hours ago, is one of the partners, one of the participants in that platform. Once you log into it, you can filter it, as we said before, in the type of collaboration you wish to do. And in that, I want to say thank you all for joining us. And I want to invite you all to join us later on. If you have any type of collaboration you're looking for, you can click on the QR and then contact us. And thank you all for coming, and we wish you all happy and joyful days, and hope to see you all in the next event. Thank you all.